Well, hello everyone. I'm Calista Sampson, a current undergraduate student here at BGSU. At the start of my freshman year of college here at BG, I was fully prepared to have the most normal college experience. I was going to be the most average student, get a degree, eat some dining hall food, and okay, maybe just have a little bit of fun in between, just a little bit. I was perfectly content with staying in my shell and what I felt was comfortable for me. I was planning on just simply dragging my feet throughout my college experience, but this initial plan did not come to fruition at all, and all because of one tattoo. At the beginning of my first year here at BG, I was very unaware of everything around me. I would go throughout my daily routine with my head in the sand, and I kept an extremely low profile. See, I was starting to fall into the trap that I call the nonchalant college kid. This is a concept I started to see around me with my peers as they were seemingly dragging their feet throughout their college experience as well. For example, choosing a major they weren't actually passionate about, unwilling to go out of their way to create a significant network, and resistance to reaching emotional depths that allow for personal growth and change. A specific buzz sentence that describes this phenomenon is, "It's not that deep." Well, maybe it is just that deep. My personal reality check with this phenomenon happened in the summer of 2024, going into my junior year of college. See, I was doing a very typical college kid thing. I was getting a tattoo. And as you may guess, I was extremely nervous, and I began talking a lot. I began telling the tattoo artist, whose name is Ray, about an endeavor I was embarking on that month. And at the end of my lengthy rambling, I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for talking so much. I'm just really excited about this." And Ray replied back, "Why are you apologizing for being excited? It's interesting to be interested." That one response dramatically changed the rest of my life. And Ray will never understand his impact that he had on me that day. See, it changed my entire perspective on how I was choosing to show up for myself and for others in both my college career and in my personal life. From this point forward, my brain began to categorize people into two different subgroups based on how they choose to live their life, being those who are complacent and then those who are captivated. And the difference here is vast in how each chooses to live their life and show up for themselves as well as others. See, those who are complacent are fine with just grazing by. This is the category of people that I was trapped in until that tattoo appointment with Ray. I, like most in this category, was perfectly fine with not leaving an impact, and even worse, I was fine with not letting anything impact me. See, there are people that secretly hide in the complacent category because they use the charm of high achievement to mask the fact that they have a true lack of contribution and passion. See, this is the character of the nonchalant college kid and is the prime example of where the complacent group of people thrive in. But the captivated individuals have a zest for what they want in life. See, they actively want to expand their capabilities and potential instead of just scraping the surface. See, the captivated understand that their path only needs to make sense to them. The captivated ditch the master of none concept to be a master of something. And most importantly, like Ray, they are excited and proud, and they use it as their driving force for their passions. See, belonging to the subset of individuals who are captivated requires a lot of commitment and personal work, as it's an active choice that needs to be consistently made. While on this journey for myself, I was able to recognize the ingredients that I was missing, that I needed to feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment within my communities and personal life here at BG. I realized that there are 3 key attributes that kill the concept of being nonchalant and I theorize them into what I call the 3 I's of captivation. The 3 I's are be interested, be involved, and be intentional. Now let's think about that again. Be interested, be involved, and be intentional. So now let's break this down a little further. So the first ingredient, being interested, this is about finding your passions, whether it's arts, athletics, STEM, business, or just some weird hobby that you have. What makes your heart beat faster? What makes your brain fixate? And what makes you feel alive? The second objective, be involved. Once you find what your passion is, how do you create a role for yourself? How do you make meaningful contributions and groundwork? See, involvement is designed for growth over time, and it's not a linear process. When an individual's involvement can change over time, the biggest way to contribute is to be present and to give effort, even if it means you're the one to initiate. Now, the third and final objective, be intentional. Now, after finding your passion and finding how you can be involved, how do you utilize intentionality? Being your authentic and genuine self while you make calculated choices demonstrates the level of care, passion, and mindfulness that you have towards the organization. See, a lack of intentionality brings in room for ignorance, disinterest, and recklessness, even if it's not intended to be that way, which is often a byproduct of being nonchalant. See, intentionality is about representing the changes and consistencies that you want to see from others, starting within yourself as an individual. So the 3 I's, be interested, be involved, and be intentional, help you to channel your inherent passions and fulfilling purpose into contributions. See, this is an attribute that is not just present as a college student, but can be one carried into future endeavors with careers, relationships, volunteer work, hobbies, and more. But as a college student, this sense of ambition can take your experience from one that's very bland to one that is vibrant. See, my first 2 years here at BGSU felt very dull. I had lackluster connections. I wasn't involved with any student clubs or organizations. And with the one thing that I was a part of, being the BGSU cheerleading team, I didn't know if or how I could contribute or where I belonged. But after that one tattoo appointment with Ray, my whole perspective changed. I found myself no longer apprehensive about the passions I had, and once I started to fully embrace them, opportunities began to fall into place with ease. I found the BGSU Wellness Ambassadors, the Tour Guide Office, the Leadership Institute, the Spirit Program, and most importantly, I was able to make meaningful relationships around me, as well as have a healthier one with myself. I was able to prove to myself that I was capable and worthy of being more than just a college kid. I was able to develop more of who I was and who I'm still becoming through exploring the passion of my interest with the support of community. I was able to accept that part of your path is by trusting that it does take a village, but only if you do your part as a villager. And while putting myself out there was initially terrifying for me, I learned through time and experience that it would have been scarier for me in the long run to stay as the girl with her head in the sand. And to be completely transparent, my timid freshman year self would be in awe that I'm here today, and even more in awe that I have a community of people I love right in front of me. So yes, I could have come to college and chosen the easy route of complacency that would have required a life of blending into the crowd, but instead I was able to be brave enough to be vibrant. I find it an interesting coincidence that the word used to describe BGSU this year is the word momentum. Because I think that the word momentum doesn't start at the achievement or at the accolade. Momentum starts in the groundwork, and it starts with passion. and it starts with embracing your own personal development throughout your experience. So let your experience be vibrant. Be curious. Be weirdly in love with your passions. Encourage authenticity and momentum within yourself and with those around you. Be excited and buy into a path of interest, involvement, and intention for the public good. Thank you.